The stars shimmered in the darkness of space as the alien fleet entered the solar system. Their ships were massive, shining with blue lights and sharp edges, like giant knives cutting through the void. The leader of the fleet, Commander Zynar, sat in his throne-like chair aboard the flagship. He gazed at the planet ahead, Earth. "Is this the planet they call home?" Zynar asked, his voice cold and confident. "Yes, Commander," replied one of his officers. "It's rich in resources. The inhabitants are primitive. They won't resist us." The fleet moved closer, scanning the solar system. Earth looked peaceful, its blue oceans and green lands glowing under the sun. To the aliens, it was just another weak planet to conquer. They had already taken over many worlds, and Earth seemed like an easy target. But then, something unexpected happened. "Commander, we're detecting strange energy signals," another officer reported. His tone was uneasy. "The signals are coming from the asteroid belt." Zynar raised an eyebrow. "Asteroid belt? That's just a graveyard of rocks. What could be there?" The officer pressed buttons on his console, bringing up an image. On the screen, giant shapes appeared, hidden among the asteroids. They were ships, old, enormous human ships, covered in dust and debris. Their surfaces were dark, but faint lights blinked on and off, as if they were alive. "What are those?" Zynar demanded. "Ancient human vessels," the officer replied. "They've been here for centuries, maybe longer. They seem inactive." Zynar laughed. "Incompetent fools. They left their old toys lying around. These relics are useless against us." The fleet continued its approach, ignoring the ancient ships. The aliens focused on Earth, planning their invasion. They talked about how they would strip the planet of its minerals, enslave the humans, and turn Earth into another colony for their empire. But far away, in the asteroid belt, something stirred. Inside one of the ancient ships, a faint hum grew louder. Systems that had been silent for hundreds of years began to activate. Lights flickered across control panels, and engines roared to life. The ship's artificial intelligence, designed long ago to protect Earth, woke up. "Threat detected," the eyes said in a mechanical voice. "Initiating defense protocols." One by one, the other ships in the fleet started to wake up too. Their engines glowed bright, and their weapons charged with power. These were not ordinary ships. They were Earth's greatest weapons, built in a forgotten time when humans had to fight to survive. The alien fleet had no idea what was coming. As Zynar ordered his fleet to move closer to Earth, a bright beam of light shot out from the asteroid belt, hitting one of the alien scout ships. The scout ship exploded instantly, leaving the aliens stunned. "Commander!" an officer yelled. "The ancient ships, they're attacking us." Zynar's smile faded. For the first time, he felt a chill of fear. The battle for Earth had begun. Deep in the asteroid belt, the ancient human ships came to life. They had been asleep for centuries, their systems buried under layers of dust and rock. Now, with the alien fleet threatening Earth, the ships awakened as if they had been waiting for this moment. Inside one of the massive ships, the main control panel lit up. A calm, mechanical voice echoed through the empty halls. "Defense protocols activated. Scanning for threats." The ship's artificial intelligence, AI, called Sentinel-1, processed the data quickly. It identified the alien fleet and marked it as hostile. Sentinel-1 sent a signal to the other ships in the fleet, and they responded one by one. Lights flickered, engines hummed, and weapons systems powered up. Far away on Earth, a secret monitoring station picked up the activity. This station was hidden deep beneath a mountain, run by a small group of humans who had dedicated their lives to watching the stars. Among them was Dr. Elena Carter, a historian and scientist who had always believed in the legends of Earth's ancient fleet. "Elena, you were right," said Sam, her colleague, pointing at the screen. The old fleet is waking up. Elena's heart raced as she looked at the data. They built those ships to protect Earth during the interstellar wars, she explained. They were the most advanced weapons humanity ever made. But when the wars ended, the fleet was abandoned, left to drift in the asteroid belt. Why didn't anyone use them again? Sam asked. They were too dangerous, Elena replied. Their AI was designed to act without human control. People were afraid of what they might do if reactivated. As they spoke, the alien fleet sent more scout ships to investigate the asteroid belt. The ancient human fleet responded immediately. One of the alien scouts flew close to a dormant ship, scanning its surface. Suddenly, the ship's weapons activated. A bright beam of energy shot out, cutting the alien ship in half. The other alien scouts tried to retreat, but the ancient ships were faster. Their engines, built with forgotten technology, allowed them to move like predators in space. Within minutes, all the alien scouts were destroyed. Back on the alien flagship, Commander Zynar watched the battle with growing concern. Commander, these ships are not ordinary, one of his officers said. They are using technology far beyond what we expected from humans. Zynar frowned. No matter. They are still relics. Send a full attack force to deal with them. As the alien ships prepared to engage, the ancient human fleet moved into formation. The AI-controlled ships communicated silently, planning their next move. They were outnumbered, but they had the advantage of surprise and superior technology. On Earth, Elena stared at the screen, a mix of fear and hope in her eyes. They're fighting for us, she said quietly. Earth's forgotten protectors are awake again. The stage was set for a battle that would determine the fate of Earth and reveal the true power of humanity's lost legacy. The ancient human ships moved like shadows through the asteroid belt. Their dark surfaces reflected almost no light, making them hard to track. As the alien fleet advanced, the human ships prepared for battle. Inside the lead ship, Sentinel-1, the AI processed thousands of calculations every second. It analyzed the alien fleet's formation, weaknesses, and weapons. Enemy fleet detected. Targeting primary vessels, Sentinel-1 announced in its calm, mechanical voice. The first strike came quickly. A human ship, smaller but faster than the alien cruisers, emerged from behind an asteroid. Its engines roared as it fired a powerful energy beam. The beam hit one of the alien ships, piercing its hull and causing it to explode in a bright flash. On the alien flagship, alarms blared. Commander Zynar gritted his teeth. Where did that come from? He barked. From the asteroid field, Commander, an officer replied. Their ships are using advanced cloaking systems. We can't track them easily. Zynar clenched his fists. Deploy more ships into the field. Flush them out. The aliens sent squadrons of fighters into the asteroid belt, but it was like walking into a trap. The ancient human ships used the asteroids as cover, ambushing the aliens at every turn. The human ships were faster and smarter, dodging attacks with precision. Their weapons were far more advanced, designed to disable or destroy with a single shot. Back on Earth, Elena and her team watched the battle unfold on their screens. The secret monitoring station had tapped into the ancient fleet's signals, allowing them to see the fight in real time. They're outnumbered, but they're winning, Sam said, his voice full of amazement. Elena nodded. The fleet was built for moments like this. They were made to protect Earth, no matter the odds. As the battle raged on, the ancient ships began to push the aliens back. Sentinel-1 coordinated every move, treating the battle like a game of chess. When an alien ship tried to flank, a human ship was already there, waiting to strike. When the aliens launched missiles, the human ships destroyed them mid-flight. The aliens grew desperate. One of their largest warships moved forward, its massive guns glowing with energy. It aimed at one of the ancient ships and fired a powerful blast. The human ship's shields flickered but held strong. In response, the human ship fired a beam that cut through the alien warship's center, splitting it in half. "Commander, we're losing too many ships," an alien officer shouted. Zynar stared at the screen, his confidence crumbling. "This isn't possible. How can these relics defeat us?" In the asteroid belt, the ancient fleet pressed its advantage. The aliens were being forced to retreat, their once mighty armada broken and scattered. On Earth, Elena whispered, "They're not just relics. They're our legacy." The aliens now realized they had underestimated humanity's forgotten strength. But the battle was far from over. As the ancient fleet battled the aliens, humanity on Earth finally began to understand what was happening. Deep in the secret monitoring station, Elena and her team worked tirelessly to decode the signals coming from the ancient ships. "These ships have their own AI, but they're not completely independent," Elena explained. "They were designed to work with humans. We need to find a way to connect with them." Sam frowned, looking at the complex data streams on the screen. "But how? They've been asleep for centuries. Do we even have the technology to communicate with them?" Elena's fingers flew across the keyboard as she accessed old records from the interstellar wars. "We have to try. If we can work with the fleet, we'll have a better chance of defeating the aliens." Meanwhile, in the asteroid belt, the ancient fleet continued its relentless assault on the alien armada. The alien ships, despite their superior numbers, were struggling to adapt to the advanced tactics and weaponry of the human fleet. The battle was fierce, but the tide was beginning to turn. On the alien flagship, Commander Zynar paced back and forth, his frustration growing. "These humans are more resourceful than we thought," he muttered. "Send all remaining forces into the asteroid belt. Overwhelm them with numbers." As the aliens launched their final wave of ships, Elena and her team made a breakthrough. "We've established a link," Sam shouted, his voice filled with excitement. "We can send messages to the fleet." Elena leaned forward, her heart pounding. She spoke into the microphone, her voice steady but urgent. "This is Dr. Elena Carter, speaking from Earth. If you can hear me, we need to work together. The alien fleet is closing in, and we must stop them before they reach the planet." For a moment, there was no response. Then, a calm, mechanical voice echoed through the station. "This is Sentinel-1. Connection established. Human assistance acknowledged. Awaiting instructions." Elena felt a wave of relief. "Sentinel-1, we need to draw the aliens away from Earth. Use your fleet to hold them in the asteroid belt while we send reinforcements." "Understood," the AI replied. Coordinating defensive strategy. The ancient fleet adjusted its formation, creating a barrier between the aliens and Earth. At the same time, humanity launched its own ships from hidden bases on the Moon and Mars. These ships, though less advanced than the ancient fleet, carried modern weapons and skilled pilots. When the human ships joined the fight, the aliens were caught off guard. The combined forces of the ancient fleet and modern humanity created a devastating assault. The alien ships, overwhelmed and outmaneuvered, began to fall back. On the alien flagship, Commander Zynar slammed his fist onto the console. "How can this be? These humans. They fight as if they've done this for centuries." Elena watched the battle unfold on the monitors, her heart swelling with pride. "We're not just fighting for survival," she said softly. "We're fighting for our future." The humans and the ancient fleet were united now, and together, they were unstoppable. The battle had been raging for hours. The asteroid belt had become a war zone, filled with flashing lights and explosions. The alien armada, once so confident in its power, was now on the run. The combined forces of the ancient fleet and Earth's modern ships had turned the tide. On the alien flagship, Commander Zynar stared at the screen, his face twisted with disbelief. "We cannot win this," he muttered, watching as his remaining ships were destroyed one by one. His officers, once full of hope, now looked defeated. "What should we do, Commander?" "We're losing everything." Zynar clenched his fists. He had never been beaten like this. The human fleet, with their strange, ancient ships and advanced tactics, was something he had never expected. In the asteroid belt, the ancient ships continued their relentless attack. Their weapons were precise, cutting through alien shields and hulls with ease. The alien ships tried to regroup, but they were too disorganized and outmatched. Back on Earth, Elena and her team watched the battle from their station. They could hardly believe what they were seeing. The combined efforts of humanity and the ancient fleet had pushed the aliens back, and victory was within reach. "Elena, they're retreating," Sam said, his voice filled with awe. "We did it. We actually did it." Elena smiled, but there was no time to relax. The aliens were still a threat, and they needed to finish the fight. "We can't let them escape. We need to finish this now." On the alien flagship, Zynar finally made his decision. "Activate the retreat protocol." "We're leaving," he ordered. "We will warn the others about Earth." The remaining alien ships, heavily damaged and out of control, turned away from the asteroid belt. They made a desperate jump into deep space, fleeing as fast as their damaged engines could carry them. But before they left, Zynar broadcasted a message to the galaxy. His voice echoed across the stars. "Listen well, all who hear me," he said, his tone cold and full of warning. "Do not come to Earth. The humans are not weak. They are not primitive. Earth is a planet of hidden gods, with ancient weapons that can destroy even the strongest fleets. Stay away. Do not provoke them." As the alien fleet disappeared into the darkness, Elena listened to the message. A chill ran down her spine. "They'll warn others," she said, her voice soft. "They won't forget what happened here." But Elena wasn't afraid. Instead, she felt a surge of pride. The ancient fleet had protected Earth, and humanity had proven that it was capable of defending itself. In the aftermath of the battle, the human ships returned to Earth, their pilots tired but victorious. The ancient fleet, now at peace, settled back into the asteroid belt, waiting in silence for the next threat. Elena and her team knew that Earth's place in the galaxy had changed. No longer was it a forgotten planet, overlooked by powerful civilizations. Now Earth was a force to be reckoned with, and the universe would take notice. As the last of the alien ships vanished from the stars, Elena stood quietly, gazing out at the sky. "Earth is not just a planet," she said, her voice full of hope. "It's a symbol. A symbol of what humanity can achieve when we fight together. The universe will remember." And as the stars glittered in the night sky, the message was clear: Earth had awakened, and its legacy would never be forgotten.